I'm Ashton Addison from Blockwest Capital for InvestmentPitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Jackie and Ben, the co-founder and marketing director of OpenLeverage. Gentlemen, welcome to the show, and thank you for taking the time to come on.
Hey, thanks for having us. Glad to be here.
Pleasure.
You're very welcome. There's so much going on in DeFi, more on the DEX side, more different kind of derivatives, margins, liquidity providing we can get in different kind of financial products that are being built. And I've looked through OpenLeverage. I've seen that you guys have a cool range of products that I think are going to become wildly popular in the near future, if not already, really. And I would love for you, Jackie, to just kick us off by starting with, a bit of an explanation on what is OpenLeverage and the solutions that you're bringing to the cryptocurrency space.
Sure. So OpenLeverage is a permissionless lending and margin trading protocol to enable traders to long or short any tokens on decentralized exchange efficiently and securely. So it means anyone can create lending and margin trading markets, which connects to the AMM-based DEXs like Uniswap, and trade with the liquidity provided from the DEXs. The protocol can also be deployed to all other EVM-compatible chains like Avalanche, Polygon, BSC, and Phantom, and supporting thousands of tokens for lending and margin trading in the future.
Very cool. And yeah, that's great to hear about the other chains as well. I think that there's a lot of demand coming in, especially with the bottleneck on Ethereum and the costs associated for small traders. When you were building OpenLeverage, were you looking at these decentralized exchanges like Uniswap and being like, what is missing? How can we improve this? Or like, where did you find the idea that this was needed in the market?
So I think when we look at the markets, like about a year ago when we started the projects, we realized that the DEX is growing really fast. With a lot of tokens to be listed, with very small costs, with transactions. Then a lot of projects can list their list the token on DEXs, but we cannot find any similar infrastructure to support lending and margin trading with that level of permissionless. Mm-hmm. So that's why the reason that we came up this idea to build a permissionless and truly kind of opens market for lending and margin trading for a lot of tokens.
Very cool. And there's still a lot of traders that are using centralized cryptocurrency exchanges. Maybe they haven't dabbled into DeFi and DEXs because either slightly more technical, not too bad now. It's getting pretty good with the user experience, but it's definitely a niche of people that are doing liquidity provision and not just trading or just holding Bitcoin and Ethereum. When you were building OpenLeverage, what did you see as the target audience, or who were the main kind of traders that were going to be using the technology?
Ben, you want to take it?
Sure. So when we built out OpenLeverage, we really tried to make the interface approachable to both the veterans who are used to working within centralized exchanges that are interested in longing or shorting any token, but also DeFi users that are interested in now participating in the exact same functionality. So there's a very simplified type interface that allows really anybody who's familiar with the trading interface to come on in. But additionally, we're encouraging new people to start this as well. I think the really exciting part is that it's democratizing it too. So even if you're not longing or shorting a token, you can actually take advantage of the yield farming opportunities, DeFi, which a lot of people are quite interested in doing without impermanent loss. You can deposit tokens and really encourage a community of users to get rewarded for providing liquidity for margin trading.
Definitely. And with this permissionless, being able to add trading pairs and sort of without authority, just do whatever you'd like on the platform, for new users that might be a little daunting, but for the experienced users, are there any limitations on what you can do? Although it's a decentralized exchange, maybe it's not fully permissionless, or do they really have full reins of creating kind of whatever liquidity and trading pairs that they want?
It is quite permissionless, and that's really the vision of this platform, is that any token that you wish to bring to it, you can do. And this is really what distinguishes our type of leverage trading from many other centralized exchanges and even decentralized exchanges that offer leverage trading ours is actually truly permissionless. This is being done because normally in a centralized exchange, well, of course, you're going to have to ask the centralized exchange to both list your token. And then even if you got listed on a centralized exchange, it's quite rare that they're going to allow your token to get leverage trading. They're only going to enable maybe hundreds, or in the case of Binance, maybe thousands of tokens, but it's not every token that gets this capability. And as we shift over to DeFi, even with most DeFi models, they're still quite permissioned. And although this sounds contradictory, what's happening in many cases for these DeFi products is they're relying on things like Chainlink oracles, and no fault of their own, but these are permissioned. Getting the oracle to provide this pricing information on chain becomes a centralization in of itself. OpenLeverage is different. This is truly permissionless. You can come, you can bring any token you wish, as long as it's traded on a true DEX like Uniswap, you can actually get it listed on OpenLeverage. And I think that's what our community is really finding quite valuable, is that they can be completely permissionless.
Very cool. And thank you for that background into the intricacies of the DEXs as well. I think that brings a lot of light for traders, especially people looking to get into permissionless trading. And now that you say that there really are no permissions, what can we get a snapshot of where OpenLeverage is at with that? Are there a lot of people just coming in and starting to add trading pairs and add liquidity? And where is the platform at with that right now? Jackie?
So yeah, so we have successfully deployed to Ethereum mainnet recently in December, and currently working on rolling out a lot of the to other EVM compatible chains, and looking for providing a much better experience in terms of transaction cost and execution speed on Avalanche and Phantom, BSC, and Polygon. So in the near future, we will support limit order for all pairs on the market, which is also a missing infrastructure for many trading pairs across the market as well. So in longer term, we have a plan to build infrastructure to support social trading, where trading leaders can invite their followers to join their portfolios trustlessly. And this could be gamify and also incentivized with NFT system as well.
Very cool. I like that, the social trading. And, I feel like a lot of traders that are scouring Twitter or social media, trying to look for tips and tricks and to sort of build it right into the platform, I think saves a few steps. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm also curious about, the platform itself. A lot of DEXs, compared to centralized exchanges, not to say that it's more risky. There's different kinds of risks between decentralized exchanges and centralized exchanges, but there is more burden on owning your own funds and making sure that you do the right things because it is decentralized. And part of that as well is the security and the safety of the funds and the trading and everything like that. I saw that OpenLeverage is partnered with this code arena, and maybe there's some other security and safety enhancements that you could talk about that you've used to make a safe place for traders to come on OpenLeverage.
Sure. So security has been really core to our mission. OpenLeverage adopted from the get-go many measures to ensure the security and scalability of our DeFi protocol for users. So initially, we've already gone through security audits with CertiK and PEC Shield. And this new one now with Code for Arena is going to be just furthering that even to work with the community to find any other vulnerabilities or bugs that could exist. This is going to be an opportunity for the community to win $75,000 US. And this is just, again, something that we do natively. We really, really believe that the community is the best way of securing a protocol, especially in DeFi. So this is a really exciting opportunity for white hat to get involved, as well as if you can find a way to optimize our protocol, I would love to keep my gas costs down too.
That's amazing. And yeah, $75,000. There's a lot of people that are just sitting around coding and they could be earning money. So I will definitely leave a link to that. I saw that on your guys' Twitter. I'll leave a link to that in the description as well for any people that are interested in potentially helping and just looking through the platform and things like that. And now there's still a lot to be done. You guys have a
Fun.
He seems to have cut out.
Yeah. Background is not cutting off though.
Okay, we're good.
We're back.
We're back. Okay. Great. Well, thank you for all that background, Ben. And I'm curious, 2022 is, there's been so much institutional adoption last year, and we're sort of trying to figure out what are the trends, the major trends that are going to happen in 2022. And I'm curious if you've catered the roadmap for Open Leverage to build some more products that you think are going to attract a lot of the DeFi space, and maybe can hint at what is coming up in the next 6 months for the platform.
Okay. Oh, well, it seems like you're not following the script. But
sorry,
that's
I
right.
sort of asking about there's some questions that I can, let's see. I asked for Code Arena. Sometimes I move it a little bit. I was just asking about the development roadmap, which is
I could take it.
Skipped a few questions, but let me re-ask it here so I can get my editing guys to do it. Okay. Is that okay if I ask about the roadmap?
Well, I think I already talked about the roadmap.
True.
Which is like deploying several chains, limit orders.
Can I ask about the token?
Yeah. Well, we are not. Well, you can. Yeah, you can. Well,
I usually just ask a general, and you guys can do as much or as little as you want about it. I'm not.
Yeah. Okay. So next milestone. Yeah, where we will mention our tokens. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds great. Great. Thank you, Ben and Jackie, as well, for that information. And Jackie, you did mention part of the plans in moving to the other chains and growing out in the DeFi space. And I think that that's going to be a huge trend in 2022. And you also mentioned there about like the community and governance and allowing them to, as a permissionless platform, have a say. And I'm curious if in the roadmap there's part of a governance, tokenization, or some mechanism that the community can also use to contribute to the platform, and maybe can hint at if that's something that's coming up in the future.
Yeah, sure. As I mentioned, our next major milestone is to implement our multi-chain strategy and capturing the market share, and also integrating and collaborating with projects that with the ecosystems, and bring value to the project and the user. And then we will look into launch our OLE tokens in later this year. So we will build out our tokenomics and ultimately launch the DAO, which that have everyone and the community to have a say, and move towards to a fully community-driven protocol. So that's the goal after rolling out to the multi-chain strategy.
Very cool. I like it. And Ben, what do you think 3 to 5 years down the road, when DeFi is known by hopefully millions of more people, what do you think one of the key factors to success will be for Open Leverage to be one of those main platforms that traders come to trade?
I think being involved with multiple projects that are taking off is going to be key for what Open Leverage success is going to be. We've seen that margin trading in general can accelerate any project. And because of the nature of centralized exchanges blocking these new projects from getting that necessary feature, it ends up being a hindrance to a project and the community as a whole to get their token price out there, or even just to get the news to say, well, the token price moved, and that often leads the story. I think Open Leverage then needs to move to where the liquidity is and help the community out by saying, you don't need to go to a centralized exchange. In fact, you can do an IDO, you can get your token listed there, grow your community, and help encourage your community to say, margin trading is a way to grow the community. It's a way to get better slippage rates on the DEX, because we'll have more people doing leverage trading. And as a result of this, you get rewards. That's a win-win. Lower slippage and yield farming is a positive thing. So we're going to continue to really chase the communities to say this is a way to get the word out that leverage trading can help you. And we're going to be moving to places on layer 2s where the liquidity is going to be found in the future.
Very cool. And yeah, with yield farming, I feel like there's so many people that aren't capitalizing on yields that they could be. And there's still a lot of people that haven't gone into margin trading as well. But of course, the risks are different in between spot trading and margin trading. And I think there's a little bit of education or, dipping your toe in a small way before you go full out into margin trading.
Fully agree. I would encourage any user that's trying to stay low risk. The yield farming with verifiable protocols that have done their security audits is a good way to get a bit of yield without taking on the risk. And really, if you can find ones that are single-sided yield farming where you don't have impermanent loss, like OpenLeverage, it's a very good way of getting some interest for your capital that you already have. Of course, margin trading has risks, and for that, I recommend it purely to the people that are more skilled. But you might as well get benefits from it. If you have a community that wants to increase, the opportunities, then using OpenLeverage by doing yield farming without impermanent loss, this is a great way to get.
Definitely, yeah, well said. And I like that you take that approach because there's people that aren't professional traders from 30 years just getting into crypto. They get excited and they spend too much or they take too much risk and they don't realize what they're doing. So really do take it slow. Even myself being years in the industry, I like to do it, but I like to make sure that I'm conscious about it.
Fully agree.
And with DeFi, it moves so quickly. There's so many new coins and trading pairs and lending protocols coming out. Do you see, what kind of challenges do you potentially see as you move forward in just the industry that you may have to overcome to make sure that you're staying in the eyes of the market?
I think, when we look at the DeFi market landscape, we thought that the Oracle problem might be the main obstacle for the DeFi innovations. And the current Oracle system is quite expensive to set up and maintain, and sometimes laggy due to the cosmic constraint and cannot support the limited set of data feeds, and it's very slow to respond to market developments. So from our experience, that to build a truly permissionless market, we definitely need the Oracle system with very low maintaining costs, and develops at the same speed as markets, and also respond to the market change on time, and most importantly, secure. So we spotted the time-weighted average price system, aka TWAP, provided by Uniswap, which is pretty good piece of infrastructure for price trading. Sorry. So let me start again. So then we spotted time-weighted average price system, aka TWAP, provided by Uniswap, which is a pretty good piece of infrastructure for price trading. So we built out lending and trading flow around it and further enhance it by calculating the risk with multiple TWAP with predefined duration to make sure the prices are valid for all trading activity. And that will invalidate a lot of price manipulation attack because only the spot price can be easily manipulated, but not the TWAP. So because the TWAP system is supported by most of the other DEXs, so with that we can roll out to support as many tokens natively traded on all the AMM-based DEXs as well. So I think that's the approach is we're bringing to the DeFi and could be leveraged to develop to a lot of derivative and also DeFi product as well.
Definitely, and great point, Jackie. And you did mention it before about the oracles and using Chainlink and that permissionless DEXs, they rely on oracles, and sometimes those oracles, most of the time, there's some centralized entity that needs to bring those prices into DeFi because the prices aren't actually on the blockchain; they're got from other exchanges and the average. So I really like what you mentioned there about time-weighted average price and making sure there's more confidence in the prices that are on OpenLeverage. So very cool, gentlemen. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on. I'm looking forward to seeing this multi-chain expansion that you mentioned there on OpenLeverage. And for people that are interested in trading, doing the yield farming, as you mentioned, Ben, and doing liquidity provision on OpenLeverage, what is the best way for them to learn more and to get involved?
Ben?
Oh, apologies. I thought that was going to Jackie. All right, I'll take it. One moment. I think the best way for people to get involved with OpenLeverage is to come on out first and see our website. It is really a Web3 app that's been designed for any user to come and quickly learn what is margin trading and how can we use OpenLeverage to do permissionless margin trading. So I'd encourage anybody to come on out and take a look at that first. We also have a really growing community that's of ambassadors that are forming on multiple different social media. So from our website, you can come and take a look and ask questions in our Discord, ask questions in our Telegram, and learn from other users. You don't have to be an expert in margin trading to get real tangible benefits, yield farming opportunities in particular, for people to just start saying, what can OpenLeverage do for me? And if you are a small project that's looking to list your token on a DEX, you really should be looking first and foremost at what can OpenLeverage do for you and helping grow your community. Nothing excites a community more than to see the token price going up, and nothing makes that faster than margin trading. So being able to make sure part of your tokenomics for your project includes a portion going into a liquidity pool for margin trading, that will help ensure that happens. And you don't have to do it through a centralized exchange. You can still IDO on a DEX, and you can still offer now margin trading and get these benefits for your community. So we'd love to have discussions with any project that is interested in learning more about that.
Very cool. Thank you for all the information, Ben and Jackie. It sounds like you guys really understand the protocol, obviously here. I will leave the link to openleverage.finance and the Telegram and Twitter that you mentioned as well in the description box below for the viewers. I appreciate you coming on to take the time to speak with us. I would love to follow up again when you guys have made more updates, and I want to hear about how the multi-chain expansion goes. Until then, let's follow up in the near future.
Thanks, Ashton.
Thanks, Ashton.